The state of Destiny's PvE Endgame has changed dramatically since the game's inception. From endgame raids being the only way to hit max power in year 1 of Destiny 1, to now where it's just another source of pinnacle weapons and armor that get power crept out of the game by the time the next episode and season drops. What can we as players do to make the content we love feel more rewarding? Let's take a look at our most recent raid, Salvation's Edge. What weapons are players using from that activity? Maybe Imminence, the SMG. Yes, the rerolling of raid weapons such as the VOG weapons brought us Hezen's Vengeance, which is indisputably the most potent rocket in the game at the moment, and Fatebringer, which is hands down the best endgame PvE hand cannon. But the big problem I see with these new raids and all of the refreshed raids is the weapon crafting system. Raids are supposed to be these activities players want to come back to and play week over week. But now we're fighting against the clock in some regards for weapons that won't even last a year in the meta. It feels as if the reward we get is far outweighed by the effort we need to put in to get some of these drops. Now, it has been quite some time since Destiny 1, and the way raid loot worked in that game is drastically different than how it is now. Weapon drops were substantially more rare. It could take weeks, maybe even months, to obtain one of the OG Fatebringers from Templar. But now all we need to do to get the weapon in Destiny 2 is just run the encounter a few times to get a couple of red borders, hit the end of activity chest just to buy another, complete the set, and that could all be done in a single day for multiple weapons. You could just get the god roll. Whatever you wanted on it, you could just get it. And then once you obtain that crafting pattern, what's the appeal of going back to run that raid anymore? There aren't any unique cosmetic drops again, such as shaders like Nano Phoenix from Wrath of the Machine. We don't have the rare Sparrow and Ship drops. They're all tied to Triumphs now. We don't have the armor ornaments from the hard mode difficulties that we got in Rise of Iron and the Age of Triumph era of Destiny 1, which for many veteran players of the game was considered to be one of the best times to be playing the game, even with the impending launch of Destiny 2. We've lost the appeal of that, shiny new weapon drop! It doesn't exist anymore. We all remember the Gallahorn reactions back in year 1. Where is that now? We had a taste of it with Into the Light and its holofoil system. And by the time this video comes out, we're getting Rite of the Nine, which has a similar system where we're getting rerolled and holofoil versions of weapons from Prophecy, Ghost of the Deep, and Spire of the Watcher, all for being played on contest mode equivalent difficulties. This is just how it works for dungeons and raids now in Destiny 2. We still have Nightfalls in the game, which, according to Bungie, are considered to be pinnacle endgame PvE content. And while a few years back we were introduced to Adept weapons from Grandmaster Nightfalls, and we had Adept weapon mods introduced for PvE weapons outside of the Trials Adept mods. But every single one of these Adept Nightfall weapons and Nightfall weapons in general are just re-perked weapons from Destiny 2's early life cycle, and we had the Nightfall Strike specific loot. Or they came from Destiny 1. A few examples are Hung Jury and Shadow Price. But to go a step further, in Destiny 1, we had skeleton keys, and we had strike-specific armor on top of strike-specific weapons. A few examples of the strike-specific weapons from Destiny 1, we had a Mago Loop, and a couple of the armor pieces. We had the Shield Brothers, and we had a couple of their armor pieces. We had the Darkblade helmet, we had the Scion Flare cloaks, we had Tanic's cloak. These were all themed after their strikes. The skeleton keys gave us a bonus chance to get those rewards after the strike was complete, but only if you had the skeleton keys, which weren't exactly the easiest thing to come across. And yes, we did have strike-specific weapons, ships, and sparrows in Destiny 2, but those stopped by Shadowkeep year 3 of the game, which was about 5 years ago now, right? We went from Endgame being the only way to get some of these really cool, unique, aspirational weapons and armor, and now we just buy them from Eververse. Some of these items from Destiny 1 I still don't even have, and I played that game religiously. Now, there are many ways to solve some of these problems. So let's go over some of these ideas. In terms of weapons, I personally believe that they should remove these crafted weapons from raids. Make all of the weapons that drop from raids enhanceable, not just the adepts. Add new unique weapon mods to the master modes to fit that raid's theme instead of just them being adepts. Bungie experimented with that this episode on the vendor tracks with the new weapon mods that you could earn that were only usable on the seasonal weapons. We could add new mods to the Vogue weapons. One that has a triple tap effect that fits the theme of time that the Vex have in that raid. Or one that has radiolaria infused bullets that can proc a damage over time effect on enemies and boost damage to Vex. We could port some of this season's mods, alter them a little bit to King's Fall. It fits the theme. We could add Warmind style mods to Spire of the Watcher. We could add stuff to the Last Wish weapons that grant a wish themed buff that give us boosts to ability gen. On top of an origin trait, we now have these unique adept raid and dungeon mods for the adept versions of those weapons. Outside of the weapons, we could add new shaders to each raid that's only attainable based on total clear or RNG drop. Either way works. We could also add new ships and sparrows, stuff that have a total clear amount to get to. So we could add to Vow of the Disciple. Get 35 clears for a sparrow, 25 for a ship, 50 for a shader. But the thing is, the loot has to be cool enough to warrant getting those clears, to warrant people wanting to go back and play these activities. We can add unique weapon ornaments for the legendaries that are tied to encounters that you can get them from. There needs to be reasons to play these activities again that take so much manpower to make. Reasons to bring people who are newer to this game through those activities other than make your power level go up. Since the introduction of artifact leveling, especially now with Fireteam power, we've been moving away from the idea that power/light level means everything, when now it means barely anything. For me, I haven't hit the pinnacle cap since before Final Shape came out. I want to say since the second season of Lightfall was the last time I hit the pinnacle cap, because there hasn't been a reason to get there. There needs to be other reasons that we play these aspirational endgame content. And it's up to Bungie to figure out what to do next here. Now again, we do have Rite of the Nine on the horizon, and I'm going to be live on Twitch playing that throughout the next 3 weeks as the activities progress, grinding out hollow foils, doing helps with the contest dungeons to get players some of their hollow foils that they so desperately want. So be sure to stop by at twitch.tv/grogram to come and get some of your brand new shiny hollow foils. Now then, moving forward, I am excited to see what Bungie has in store for us with Edge of Fate and everything else moving forward into the Year of Prophecy. I just hope that they can see we need more to hold our interest in the game, especially with this aspirational endgame content, to bring back that feeling of looter in the looter shooter genre. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to follow the Twitch at twitch.tv/grogram. We will be live for the reveal of Edge of Fate tomorrow/today, whenever you're watching this. And we will be doing helps throughout the entire Rite of the Nine event on Twitch. So be sure to hop in, grab your hollow foils with me, and I will see you guys then. Take care and have a great day.
Easy, 2's. Easy, 2's. Easy, 2's. Easy, 2's.